As we continue with it, the licensors of imported technology indemnify licensors for all liabilities for infringement resulting from the use of transfer technology. China also restricts the terms of import technology contracts by prohibiting number of clauses in import technology transfer contracts. A technology import contract cannot contain clauses restricting or restraining the transferee from improving the technology supplied by the supplying party or restricting the receiving party from using improved technology. Any improvements to imported technology belong to the party making the improvement, but domestic intellectual property rights holders are not subject to such restrictions in the context of the domestic technology transactions. China has also been accused of not ensuring effective protection for foreign intellectual property rights holders of undisclosed information, which is clearly contrary to the TRIPS obligation. The regulations for the implementation of the law of People's Republic of China on Chinese foreign equity joint ventures (JV) regulations operating separately or together with the listed instruments appear to be inconsistent with their national treatment principle of the TRIPS agreement. On 23 March 2018, the United States introduced additional valorum import duties of 25% on steel and steel products imported from all countries except Canada, Mexico, Australia, Argentina, Korea, Brazil, and the EU. The United States later introduced additional ad valorem import duties of 25% also on the steel products imported from Canada, Mexico, and the European Union. Then the United States introduced certain quotas for Korean steel, and after that, the United States introduced quotas also for Argentina and Brazil. Various countries have challenged the US actions before WTO. India has also challenged the US actions before the WTO, arguing that the actions are in violation of the agreement on safeguards as the United States has adopted and implemented the measures at issue inconsistently with its obligation, both substantive and procedural. The main allegation is that the US has imposed import duties on certain steel and aluminium products in excess of the prescribed duty set forth and provided in Part 1 of the United States Schedule for the Concessions and Commitments. The measures do not apply uniformly to all imports of certain steel aluminium products into the United States, irrespective of their origin, and thereby measures at issue discriminate against imports of the said steel and aluminium products originating from India. With respect to the advantage, favor, privilege, and immunity extended by the United States to certain selected WTO members. India has alleged that the mayors implicitly introduced restrictions in the forms of the quotas, as the said mayors reduce the imports of steel and aluminium products from the trade levels as existed prior to these mayors. The national security exception in Article 21 of GATT is one of the most controversial of the exceptions. It permits WTO members to breach their GATT obligations for national security reasons. It declares that nothing in the agreement shall be construed to prevent any contracting party from taking any action that it considers necessary for the protection of its essential security interest taken in time of war or other emergency in international relations, or to prevent any contracting party from taking any action in pursuance of its obligation under the United Nations Charter for the maintenance of international peace and security. Many countries have used this exception